Okay.
It's all good. Fuck it. You know?
I went live just now to try to get people to come to my little 1-2 live. The motion kicking in, so I feel better.
Your shit was throbbing like that, you too?
I have to take some motion.
No, them shits is bad. I understand. That's why.
Like that. Yes, it was.
Right. Damn it, man. I know the pain. That's why I'm like, oh shit.
It was right. Yes. I had to take some motion. I don't even take pills. I
right.
That's motion. I'm like, can I get motion?
Right. That's exactly what I was saying. Like, God damn, it must have been real.
For real. I wish I could watch you on live like I did before.
Why can't you?
I'm gonna have
you on your phone?
Yeah.
Pull up YouTube on your laptop.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hook it up right now. I'm gonna use my tablet this time.
I ain't much to look at.
And I'm gonna come on in. Oh, you know why? I'm gonna have to hook up the laptop. It's okay. I'll hook up the laptop and the tablet.
Yeah.
Because what I'm gonna do, I have the tablet hooked up for the article that I want to read. I want to, be professional. And if you pull up something again, because when I listened to the show, the last one we did, and you pulled up, you broke down the science, like you were actually professional. That had a good value to the show when I listened to it later. Okay. So I'm like, you did the right thing. I never told you, good looking out for that. Good looking out for that, E.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Production value.
So that's what motivated me to have this little article from Helpline up today. 10 ways to rebuild trust. So if I had to topic, out,
the topic tonight is trust.
On this Thoughtful Thursday, this topic is how to rebuild trust after it's been broken.
Oof.
Yeah, exactly. Stop.
Why do we do this?
She said, for real, right? But I like what you said. You like, nobody ain't walk as much as me. Shit, y'all need to listen.
No, I'm for real. I'm for real because when you said, I'm not even focused on another person, I'm rebuilding trust with myself. You got to put yourself in a position where you're the only one making decisions. And you know what I'm saying? Is that I don't know, it's an island that's further for some people. Again, because they don't walk as much. You know what I'm saying? They haven't done it. You know what I'm saying? And our prisoners, we got millions of prisoners. You know what I'm saying? They pacing inside their cell. They walking. They traveling within themselves. You know what I'm saying? And people who haven't done that, another person is a distraction. You've been living at the gas station. You know what I
mean? Right. Pretty much, yeah. For
real.
Living at the gas station.
Yeah, because like I had a little breakdown talking to one of these damn professionals, and they were like, where's your home? And I'm like, motherfucker, that's it. Where the fuck is my home? Who's telling me I owe for shelter? Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Earth is supposed to be home. You know what I'm saying? I don't like.
Was that today?
No, it was my little episode. No, it was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to go see the special. How you feel? Huh?
How do you feel?
I feel fucking. I don't know. It's like
I know,
right? It's fucked up. I got so many words. I usually know exactly what to say. Right? This is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be thoughtful night.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's very thoughtful, and
I got Google open in case we get some stuff I need to pull up. We're ready to rock. Yo, you see Facebook getting sued? That's funny.
For what?
They're getting sued because they ain't shit, but the what's on the paper is that they've been running an unfair monopoly because they use their financial weight to buy out any competitors. That's why there's no competitors. They like bought Instagram. They said now look at this. Everybody and WhatsApp. But check it out. Everybody just recently started talking about Facebook buying Instagram. I found out they said they bought Instagram when they hadn't made a penny in profit. So they bought them early and just didn't. It wasn't in common talk. We weren't talking about it. Instagram's been around for a few years.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3,
2, 1. Blog Talk Radio. Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to PureFlow Radio. It's your lady, hashtag Spark20, and we're broadcasting live. Got my co-host to the right and to the left, Eerie.
What's the
and
deal?
He's broadcasting live on the PureFlow show on YouTube, right, Eerie?
That's right. You guys just check out PureFlow. The link should be on all our Facebook pages. If you want to see my ugly mug, we're there. And the live chat is streaming. If you got questions, I'll bring them up.
That's awesome. Because, sometimes we like to listen with the telephone call. Sometimes we need a visual. We got you covered each direction. So, we got the visual covered. We got the chat room covered. And we're here now, right here, right now with you. Welcome. Welcome back. We've been back for a little while. The show has been flowing, and we're really proud to be here. It's Thoughtful Thursday. So, Thoughtful Thursdays, we like to be a little bit thoughtful and think about something that we all can benefit from and build on and things like that. So I just want to, welcome everyone who's listening now. Thank you for calling in, and I hope that you get something that you're looking for. Today, on this Thoughtful Thursday, we will be talking about how to rebuild trust after it's been broken.
Oh, man.
So, these are one of those topics. Yeah, Eerie. Like, when I brought it up to people today, the first thing they said, they thought about, they stopped. They said, you know what, that's actually a good topic because I'm going through that right now. I got 3, I'm going through that right now from people when I told them about today's topic.
Right.
This topic was actually inspired by Aaliyah. She said, let's talk about relationships. And I'm like, well, what about relationships? And me personally, I've been going through a relationship that I've been involved with for the year of 2020, you can say, started in March. And trust has been a factor because the trust has been, the trust for me started to shake when you say one thing and you do a different thing. Your actions doesn't match what you speak. So that has been a factor to me. But I started to think about trust a little bit different lately in the last couple of months. But I do want to hear what everyone else's reflection is like. So we can talk about it this Thoughtful Thursday on a common ground platform like PureFlow Radio. Here is where we like to consider to be an antidepressant, anti-anxiety zone, no censorship, just heart and I guess you being upright and honest with yourself and being able to exchange.
Don't call in. Don't call in
with some good stuff.
Don't call in and think we
Say
not
that again?
I was gonna say, just for the listeners, don't call in and think, we're gonna give you a Hallmark card. We're gonna speak from our experiences and share and hope that something within that honesty helps. But this is definitely not a pat your back kumbaya circle. Uh-huh.
This is definitely not this is, come as you are and bring your own light.
Pure flow, facts.
And let's see where we're gonna get with it. Yeah, Eerie, like I'm thinking let's warm us up with one of our tracks and letting you know where we going with the flow. I'm thinking about changes, but I'll go with the flow.
All right.
At this point, meaning
so I'm gonna
surprise where you
us.
think that we should go.
All right, to get us started with this vibe, I want you guys just to tap in, feel the lyrics, contemplate it. The thought for today is, how do you rebuild trust after trust is broken? Trust is supposed to be something natural. It's supposed to be something that flows. So we're going to listen to Flow.
Praying they can understand my flow. They can understand my flow.
Yep.
Flow.
You good?
Yeah, I'll be praying they can understand the flow.
You good? You ready to just come out the song back into it?
No, I want to listen to the song. No, I'm like, you can.
Try to dig mine now for many reasons. Deep in the surface, smiles and come a lot. When you hurting, our time has come. Our people see the something on purpose. Back in the way I'm murky with the mercury motor. Flow like a soak the recorder. This I was out of order. Hold up. No, this the mercury motor. The flow like a soak the recorder. I hope you know we brought something for you. Welcome to PureFlow. Pretty niggas understand mine. It's like something they ain't heard it before. So they don't catch it like they heard it before. And try to dig mine. Pretty niggas understand mine. It's like something they done heard before. So they don't catch it like they heard it before. And try to dig mine. Deeper than your well water. I recite the spell called a prolific with hieroglyphic lyrics on your ear wall. It's only that tear ball. Only you can see yourself out there. Lonely, floating on a sea. Could be most likely you feel lost. And when the wind starts to blow, you feel tossed. Stepped on, you feel crossed. But you know when your heart is there lost, and all you had to do was set the flow off. I goes harder than the most of them. Spit lyrics that's close to it. Supernatural, ripping the sky to bring the ghost to it. You looking in the face of the future. Eerie ace on the base. Hard placing with sutures. And I flow. Pretty niggas understand my. It's like something they done heard it before. So they gon' catch it like they heard it before. Try to dig my flow.
It's like something in them heard it before. It's like something in them heard it before.
Yeah.
Whew.
We have to remember.
That's the problem.
Welcome black.
Right, for sure. But we talking about trust and memories and remembrance. Those things seem interconnected to me, like in energy, you know?
Yes. So, how to rebuild trust? Okay, first of all, what is trust, right? Like, what does trust really mean?
Yeah, let's find out. Let's see.
So, according to Houseline.com, what does trust really mean? It's understanding what trust really is exactly. And what does it, like, what do you give someone in order to be vulnerable, I guess, to open up yourself, to feel like you can gain someone's trust? So trust can mean different things to different people. In a romantic relationship, trust might mean you feel committed to a relationship and to your partner. You feel safe with your partner and know that they'll respect physical and emotional boundaries. You know your partner listens when you communicate your needs and feelings. You don't feel the need to hide things from your partner. You and your partner respect each other, and you can be vulnerable together, and you can support one another. So that's in a romantic relationship. But I can tell you, trust for me has started in my childhood, and trust has been broken at a really young age. As far for me, it was my parents telling me who my biological parents, and it turned out that they weren't. So my trust was broken in my home and my family. If I wasn't able to trust my parents by telling me who my identity was, meaning who I really belonged to, then it was really hard for me to trust someone else. Like, I really rebelled and didn't trust anybody, because I'm like, if I can't trust my mother and my father, I can't trust nobody in the world. So trust for me was tainted at an early age, and I never really was interested in trying to gain it back from someone else. I was really trying to rebuild it in my own self, and that's kind of where I am today. We were speaking earlier, Eerie. That's where I am in my journey right now. Like, I'm not really interested in gaining trust from nobody. I'm trying to regain trust in myself. I'm trying to remember the emotional safe boundaries within my own feelings in order to, say, let me get trust from others. I don't know. What are you thinking about that?
I'm thinking, like, you singing my life with your words. I mean, trust is basically the skeleton key for me. I was speaking about it earlier in a therapy session I had. And I said, I'm such a good liar. I'm such a good deceiver and manipulator for all the right intentions in my book. But if I was honest with myself, the only thing I hadn't tried was trust and truth. And there was a reason, you know what I'm saying? Mine was broken early as well. And when trust is broken before it's requested, that's what relationships, I think, echo. there's this assumption that because we're in a relationship, you should recognize and respect that I've given you my trust. And if both parties haven't made that kind of investment and it isn't known, there's the expectations and the disappointments and stuff. I used to say, why am I telling you my truth? Why should I trust you with that? It's not required for us to have, equitable relations or to be in a good relationship. This is what I told myself. And, there was some evolving and maturing I had to do, especially from a male perspective with broken trust. As soon as a man hears that, he's thinking infidelity, period. That's just culturally, but there's so many other levels to it. But even at that level, once it's been broken, the first thing I could honestly say from a male perspective is it makes it harder to trust someone who says, even though you've broken trust, I'm still here. We're like, why the fuck do we deserve that? Yeah, fucking right. And it's such a whirlpool because, trust is a heavy thing and there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it. If someone gives you their trust, you kind of want to be like, I didn't ask for that, because you don't feel you have, what it takes to be responsible for it. You know what I mean? And that, again, this is from a male perspective. And I know there's different angles to experience this from, but yeah, I'm at the same point where it's like, if I step aside and look at everything and I think about who I am and who I am in those situations, oh shit, I need to focus on myself. Can I trust myself to make the right decisions? Every action was a decision first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So before you talk about how it's going to affect another person, to be able to look at yourself making that decision and say, hold the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of slipping. It's selfish, but it's for all the right reasons, because trust is important. It's the only thing, like, I looked up synonyms and homonyms, similar terms, and confidence, faith, things like that were connected to trust. And man, those are bigger words. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they got their business shit in there, and people will start, negating connections. Oh, marriage is just a contract. This is just that. And then you see a business term in there, like there is inside trust for law and banking. You know what I'm saying? But there's a law to love, but we write it. It's not written anywhere. And trust, truth, is the only place you can find the words that make that. There's shame involved. There shouldn't be, but that's part of the trust. You know what I'm saying? I've already broken trust, rebuild it in you. I spent time manipulating you, so I can't show you anything that will rebuild the trust. This is from a male perspective. Again, I can't show you anything because what I've been showing you is deception. So for me to point at something and say, hey, look at that, give me a plus, or give me a +1 in the other column, is a game that doesn't work. And I don't have the answer yet. So I'm glad that we're thinking about that this Thursday.
Yeah, because you said something that stuck out to me when you said trust before requested, meaning before you even know it's a thing, before I can even, ask you for trust, and then you say some synonyms are faith and all those good things like that. And again, once it's broken, how do you even build or even know? And then you said, okay, so I've been deceiving and, manipulating and things like that. And
it's a control thing.
Do you have any callers? Because
we got some callers.
I can't.
We got some callers. Let's pull somebody up.
Yeah, I'm asking because I would like to, see, because I've been tainted at a young age, and like you were saying. All right, so then you have healthy boundaries, right? People need to set healthy boundaries. I don't live with too many boundaries besides what they make, meaning don't go outside and steal, you get arrested. Don't go outside and kill, you get arrested.
Right.
Those are the healthy boundaries I follow. But other than that, it's like,
I agree. It's supposed to be organic. It's something that isn't written yet. And that's, it's funny. People use these words, freedom, free spirit, all these things.
Right. Supposed to be organic. Right. And how many chances do you give someone before you say, all right, that's enough, you've broken my trust, I'm not going back there? Yeah.
How well do you know the person?
It's just one of those things. And
Let's pull up a fresh perspective here. Let's see. Last four digits, five. No, let's do 1656. Last four digits, 1656. You're live.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, brother. So, how do you rebuild trust once trust is broken? What's your thoughts on that?
Pretty much, I would think to rebuild trust, you would have to look really inside yourself. You cannot think about trusting someone else without trusting yourself. And when you trust yourself, you're really trusting that other person because you are that other person. So when you dealing with the trust issue, you have to understand your faults and their faults, or your good doings and their good doings, to make the trust thing work. But if you can't understand each party, then there will be no trust.
So you're saying there has to be a communication that really bursts understanding and the rebuilding process.
Yes, it has to.
Right. Because have you ever experienced where it becomes like a tally thing? Spark, are you back online? Where it becomes like a scorecard. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever experienced that where it's not about how many times? I think you said, Spark, how many times should you? You know what I mean? And that kind of thing, I think, goes through the male mind a lot when trust is broken. It's like, okay, what action broke the trust? And then how many times have I done those actions?
Definitely does.
Right.
It definitely does.
And is that not the kind of communication? Right.
You have to understand, with forgiveness, you know what I mean, that also comes with the trust, you know what I mean? So when you forgive, you learn to forget about the things that you know you've done wrong. So therefore, we're not trying to look back into those things. Those things just hold us back into the concept of not trusting. So therefore, if you want to move forward, you have to learn to forgive, forget, and then trust from there on. You know what I mean? Meaning put your all into them and understand them. So therefore you can know where they're lacking, what you need to help them pick up on, and what they can help you from your lack and thereof. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I have a question for you. What if the person is apologizing and you're giving them a chance and they do the same behavior?
Who's the question for?
For you.
That's for you, because of what you just said about, being able to, allow the person to pretty much redeem themselves and, trust yourself. But what if your reflection keeps on doing the same thing that you've forgiven them for?
Sometimes you have to deal with, when you dealing with that person, that person probably don't think as deep as you. So you're going to have to sometimes either bring it back some and bring that person up to light. And if they can never get it, you might have to just go ahead and think about other things of a concept of somebody that's on your level. But I think about trying to help a person and trying to bring a person up to light instead of just leaving a situation and just saying it wasn't worth it.
Word. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for calling in.
Is there a time? Hold on. I want to talk about that. Yeah, appreciate you, brother. I want to talk about that with you, Eerie.
All right. I'm listening.
So I agree with what he said about, you have to maybe, think a little bit higher, do something a little bit different. So my question is there a time limit for that? Because sometimes you have to, gain trust with, so it's easier for me to say, I'm going to leave this guy alone in this romantic relationship because I don't trust him. He doesn't trust me. It's not going to work. What if the person that you're having trust issue with are blood related, like your parents, your siblings, your children, and it's just not that simple to break that tie and say, let me go my other way because the trust has been broken. You can't go the other way because.
Well, I think the key is in the words you use, a tie. You know what I'm saying? So, because of my experiences, familial ties might not bind me as much as they bind someone who was raised with their family. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's cut and dry to me. I don't have the skill, don't get it twisted, but the ability to walk away and say, nope, that's not good for me, it doesn't work, is something I think some people have. I don't have it, but that's going to be the button or the switch you're going to have the strength to use, I feel like, because your time is yours. You know what I'm saying? Your family's going to be family until you go in the dirt. How much of your time you spend with them is your business, because your time's yours. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure, though. I mean, and maybe it's unfair for me to have, that kind of quick answer, again, because those ties may be different for me as for other people. But I think you hit the nail right on the head with that word, especially connected to time, because they'll never stop being family. How much time will you, knock at a locked door kind of thing?
And so if that's the case, that means we're picking and choosing who we're forgiving and who we're being patient with and who we're trusting. Because if you say, oh man, you know what? Men come and go, women come and go. That's my sister, that's my brother, that's my daughter. Well, these people that you mentioned that you've given your trust to are, not respecting your healthy boundaries. So it's just a little, I guess, challenging for me to describe, because it's the same concept of forgiveness or being able to give the person an opportunity to redeem themselves. But it seems to me sometimes that some people who are creating the offenses, they know what they're doing because the person is so caring, loving, and forgiving. Like, people know who they can do things with. Yeah. They know they know boundaries.
Who they can get away with it with.
For each person. Right.
I mean,
so it's like,
let's pull another caller up. I feel you. And that's definitely a dynamic that plays for sure. Last four, 9685. Last four, 9685. You're live. How do you rebuild trust once trust is broken? (9685). All right. Let's go to 5440. Caller 5440. You're live. They just thinking, Spark.
Hey.
Chris.
Oh, honestly, I just called to hear Sparkle's voice because I didn't get to see her today.
Oh, okay. Well, just tune in then, buddy.
And I love her perspective. I love a female perspective on this because, I don't know, I've been seeing it from a male perspective and it's not working.
For sure. I listen, I'm with you. For sure.
Where'd you go, Sparkle?
I'm here, but have you ever broken someone's trust before?
Oh, let me click them back on. There you go. You're live, buddy.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, of course I have.
Did they tell you, or you just knew?
You just both.
True that.
How did you feel afterwards? Did you
How did you feel about the attempt to rebuild, though? Like, how did you feel about if the other person offered you the option to rebuild that trust, either in spirit or verbally? How did you feel about that journey, looking down the road and saying, my job is to rebuild trust with this person?
And I guess I can answer that question. I guess it has to be more like, what is your preference, and what is your purpose, and what do you consider to be a priority? Like, is it worth it? Is it worth the effort? Because a lot of people, once you portray their trust in their opinion, then they like to throw it right back into you. So now you feel bad and guilty all over again. Now you're back at square one with the emotion part of it. And you're like, hold on, I thought you told me that you forgave me. I thought you told me that, we're going to, but I can forgive you, but I can never forget what you did to me. It hurt me so bad. This can be 10 years down the line.
So did I rebuild anything? 10 years later, right. Was all my effort, was all my striving. And that's what I was asking the caller about. Like, from the point of feeling bad, thank God, I feel bad too. We have a conscience. We want to be better. When the person that you're trying to affect positively says, all right, let's go. It doesn't matter how many times you've been down that road. There's a feeling at that moment, whether it's a counter. That's what I was talking about with the first caller. Okay, I did it 5 times. I need at least 20, days of just joy to really help her forget it and believe in me again. When the person is telling you, I believe in you now, let's go. And then, like you said, the argument rises up, the paranoia rises up, a familiar situation rises up, and they remember very clearly what you just did a month ago or a week ago or whatever it was. Man, communication. I'm hearing trust, rebuild it. I think there's unspoken things that need to be spoken. That's what I'm feeling in my gut.
And that's what I'm fishing for, because it's going to come out tonight. It's going to come out tonight. Because I'm not going to be carrying this hefty heart dolo and everybody turning a blind eye. Not tonight.
Not tonight. Want to take another caller?
Please.
0707. Caller 0707. You're live.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Welcome.
Okay. Peace. So the question is, how can you rebuild trust
after trust is broken? Right? Yep.
Yeah. So from my perspective, when two people or many people trust one another, right? That means that something sacred went on. That could be vulnerable between two people or many people, right? And like, for example, you and I might have a secret that I don't want you to reveal, or vice versa, or I might be married and you trust me not to reveal certain intimate things that went on between the both of us. You know what I mean? So we trust one another to guard something that was sacred between us or many people. You know what I'm saying? So I think how trust can be rebuilt is to be patient and create circumstances again that can be sacred.
Wow.
Okay. It's just like, when people say, like that brother was saying, that he was talking about forgiveness, and forgiveness takes patience, and to rebuild trust, I think circumstances have to be created that are sacred again, like go on a trip or enjoy something new together. You know what I mean? To create something sacred again, to rebuild something that you can guard again.
Right. I like that. So, I like that. I get what you're saying. At first I was listening and I'm like, how part of the paranoia for at least me, and I think many males, is this, trusting someone when they're out of your sight. Who are they when you can't see them? And when you first started speaking, I heard sacred and secret. And I'm like, here we go again. It's just like, who can keep your secrets the best? And in a relationship, that's what I say to my wife. I said, I need a place where I can put all my secrets. That's the only time I can test trust, because I've never given trust to anybody. Why? Because vulnerabilities aren't the only thing we have to offer someone. Is the things that can hurt us. It's as if that makes sense. And so I really liked what you said. You know what I mean? And that's a big thing for me. Was I called it like a treasure chest. I told my wife, I said, I need you to be the place where I can put all the things I keep within me that nobody else has. And with that, I can trust you. Because time, for my story, I don't got friends that I've been friends with since elementary school. I don't got these 20-year, 30-year friendships that build the kind of trust that it seems other people enjoy. So you get into a romantic relationship, this person real close, real fucking fast, and they're claiming ownership of something I've never given anyone. That is a vulnerability. That is a vulnerability that I don't think many men express. And, my thing is, like I said, I brought it up to the last caller. He didn't really respond. I would love to have one from you. As a male, when you're given the opportunity, how do you feel looking at the road of rebuilding trust? Do you feel like I can do this? Do you feel like, damn, I got to sharpen so I don't get caught slipping and upset them because they're tender right now? Like, how do you feel about that journey? And maybe you can offer something to help others who don't feel positive about that journey see it a different way.
So I think that man, that's a tough one.
You know
man,
what moment I'm talking? You know what moment I'm talking about? When that woman
Well,
hugging you and you don't feel you deserve a hug, that moment, and you're like, okay, here comes the next week, here comes the next weekend. All right, are you feeling like, damn,
right.
I made it by the skin of my teeth through this catastrophe, or are you feeling like, damn, I got it? How do you make yourself feel like a champion? Like, yo, I gotta win this battle, you know, for the one I love, for the one I'm connected to, who's giving me another shot. That spirit seems mad weak. Like, I don't hear that shit in my head. I hear like defeatism, like, nigga, you still fucking up. It's just a matter of time for she find a way to feel better because you make her feel so bad. And that's after someone's forgiving you for breaking their trust. Am I the only one feeling that?
I think it's all up. What's up?
I'll say it. Am I the only one that feels that? Do you understand the feeling I'm talking about?
No, I mean, I've definitely been in that type of situation in the past.
Right.
You know, and I think what it takes is just consistency. You know, consistency and just attention to the detail, man. You know what I'm saying? I was taught a meaning of love when I was younger, and I started, you know, I guess self-educating myself. And the meaning of love is, for me, is love is the highest form of elevation, and it must go through hell to come out right. So if two people love each other mutually, right, and you know, and the man fucks up or the woman messes up, and forgiveness is sought after, then consistency has to be a major aspect of it, you know, and that comes from the love of going through the difficulty. You know, it's just like, you know, it's just like exercise. When somebody wants to get muscular and they're looking in the mirror, they weighing 110 pounds, you know what I'm saying? But they know if they stay consistent within a year that they'll see results.
Right.
They're gonna have to go through pain to grow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, it's just being consistent and, you know, bearing the burden of rebirthing a relationship, you know?
Word. I love that. Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much for calling tonight, brother.
Yes, sir.
Spark, where you at? What's up?
Well, I'm over here doing dragon, bro. You know, I'm trying to say, oh, fuck.
That was good. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
You stupid.
All right, because I have a lot to learn. We got to go to a song.
Okay.
I want to talk about communication when we come back, Eerie. Like,
I understand. I got
sometimes that you know what I mean. I got to go to a song. I got to dance. I got to do something. I got to, you know what I mean? Because this is some thick stuff, man.
We all over.
Calling you back, big business. You blowing you back, that's big business. You getting cash, that's big business. You can't wait for that, I'm big business. Witness, calling you back, big business. You blowing you back, that's big business. You getting cash, that's big business. I can't wait for that, I'm big business. They never tell you what it's like to be a woman's heart. The fear that being yourself is their confidence apart. There's just a deal to drown the globe inside the deepest blood. Never again's the covenant sealed by the secret blood. I wrap my lips around the nipples of that ancient bitch. The milk and honey stolen, so the flow is thick and rich. I teach you every single hidden trick. Rescue your soul, you can view your pit. See the reflection and be true to it. Your body makes me wanna fuck. The way you smell makes me wanna fuck. We've been through hell already, what the fuck? Pleasure is a sacred sin. You have to activate the faith within and chase the faces with a taste of gin. Kill it, boy, say it straight. You wanna fuck, she wanna pussy, yeah, he made it all possible. God is fucking great. Pretty hands around it.
What up, lady?
Oh, yo, we lit.
Young.
We lit, nigga.
For sure.
Nigga, we made it.
Well, listen here. All right, rock out. I'm gonna get you back when we go live.
Okay. I ain't playing games, I tell it straight. You wanna fuck, she wanna pussy, yeah. He made it all possible. God is fucking great. I ain't into breaking hearts and expectations for the faking starts. That's the stroke of every sacred art. Been walking in forbidden hidden shoes, seeking for the clues, speaking about the secret of your ooze, from the garden to a bathroom in a bar.
And if you really came from man, we already know the freak you are. I'll teach you every hidden trick.
We can 69 up on a crucifix. So I can see you squirm while you're losing it. Your ass makes me wanna fuck. The way you laugh makes me wanna fuck. We've been through hell already. What the fuck? Pleasure is a sacred sin. You got to activate the faith within. The ones who bust become my favorite friend. Your love is pedal pussy piece. Reminds the beast that it's been on the leash.
Who must release, they must commit to beast witness. You calling me back, that's big business. You blowing you back, that's big business. You getting attached, that's big business. I can't blame you for that. I'm big business. Witness, you calling me back, that's big business. You blowing you back, that's big business. You getting attached, that's big business. I can't blame you for that. I'm big business.
Laughter of the mutilated suit. Sifting through the loot,
Going nude through eating the shame fruits. I'm wrapped around the tree you couldn't see. A serpent with certain purpose, the curtain obscuring divinity.
damn sex without the fear of needing more. Eve is my whore, but we do not accept your money in my store. From the garden to your kitchen floor,
Unlock a river, let your liquid pour. Insert this dick into your secret core. I'll teach you every hidden trick.
rest your soul, you can view the pit. See your reflection and be true to it. Your body makes me wanna fuck. The way you smell makes me wanna fuck. We've been through hell already, what the fuck?
Welcome
Yeesh.
back to Thoughtful Thursday. Thoughtful Thursday. Make you want to say, we have.
Malo.
Wow. No, I'm just really, really excited about the flow. Like, this is exactly what I was looking for. Like, you never know what you're going to get. You know, you just got to throw yourself out there. You just got to, even if you don't know how to swim, just act like you just act like you're dying. At least you're going to float or something.
Right,
Like, so this is what we're doing. You know, so we're just being thoughtful about it. You know, we decided to use Thursdays as that day to be thoughtful. How you feeling, Eerie?
I'm good. I'm just, life is full of so many sparks. You know what I mean? Feeding them, keeping the light from our moments of inspiration is like, I'm big on creating thought forms. Like I want to create something that helps. Like mantras don't help. I've been thinking back to like bracelets. Remember they used to have the WWJD bracelet?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like we need totems. I mean, there are thousands of billion-dollar industries that are fighting for space in our mind every day. And there's not much left for us. You know what I'm saying? And whether you are conscious of it or not, it's affecting you. And I'm like, even down to the clothing line, down to logos, and all of this stuff is about fighting for some space for us to be in our own minds. You know what I'm saying? So you talk about a relationship, like you're dealing with your own insecurities, your own fears, and most people, how to mask them. Some people, how to communicate them so that they can accept the trust of someone in their relationship. But what about that person? They got their own too. You know what I'm saying? This shit it's heavy, man. It's a soundtrack to life, and it's got a lot.
You just said the key word. It's the soundtrack of life. And you said communicate. And that's the next segment. Communicate, communicate, communicate. So it might be painful or uncomfortable, but one of the biggest aspects of rebuilding trust after betrayal is talking to the person about the situation. So you have to set aside some time to tell them how you feel about the situation, why the betrayal of trust hurt you, and what you need from them to start rebuilding the trust. So these are good tips.
Word.
Sometimes this is not a reality because A, maybe the person has transitioned before you were even able to have the conversation, or B, the person on the receiving end, it doesn't even want to hear you. They putting your hand up like, I don't even want to hear you. I'm not even giving you the opportunity to communicate with you, and I don't even care. I'm wrong and I'm strong. What you going to do?
Oh shit.
So
I'm wrong and I'm strong. Oh man.
Those are some situations. So I don't know. We got somebody that went away in on this. You went away on that because sometimes communication is not even an option.
I mean, truth rings like a bell, right? I was saying at the beginning of the show that, like Allah, I'm the best of deceivers. There's something about truth, and it's not about, I knew when we project our fears onto people and wait for confirmation. Truth rings a bell, And this is for the people who don't feel they're worthy of love. If the person you're speaking to cannot recognize when you're giving a truth that you know you've been hiding, then maybe the relationship won't work. The other side is, are you really doing what I know from my personal experiences you're afraid to do, which is tell them the truth? And I challenge everybody to try that, and in their own silence, in their own tempo, pay attention to the reaction from the person that is offering them a chance to rebuild trust. And Sparkle's telling us the next step after that is to communicate. And you're the one that needs to be talking after they tell you how they felt and what they expect from you. I used to be big on never saying the word promise, but making promises to give myself excuses. You know what I'm saying? Make a promise to yourself that you'll be honest with at least one person, and then start to experiment with that. That's what I got from what you're saying.
And I'm big on, I don't care what you're saying, you better show me your steps. I don't even want to hear what's coming out your mouth. To be honest, I don't even stick around for people to redeem themselves. But let me know when you're ready. I'll be around here floating somewhere.
I remember.
I don't got time for the game.
Your mean ass. I know.
What I mean by being mean is that we're all golden.
Right.
However, if we're not being honest with the man in the mirror, which is the reflection of ourselves, and you stand before me and you pretend that you want to communicate with me.
Yeah, right.
You lie to my face and pretend that you want to change. So therefore, I can't even look at you. I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed because I have to re-examine myself, because what part of me is not communicating with you that I want to rebuild my trust, or that you are actually worthy of to be rebuilded of the trust. Right. Because I forgive you already. Do you forgive yourself?
No.
Change your ways. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Just do it.
Right, right. Oh, man. I know what kind of love you're talking about. I got a song. I know what kind of love you're talking about.
I'm listening.
Eerie, Canal, Hello, Kaki, Carrot Joe, Hello, Kaki, Carolina. Kind of love when nothing else matters. You don't question where you at. You know how you throw your hat. So if you say you'll be right back, the only thing you want to know is if you remember the gas act. Kind of Jones, feel it in your bones. If you lose right up front, should be ready with the chrome. A new goddess, honest, and on my yacht made a promise. My lioness keep the flies clock. They try to chop my neck. Bet you know the perfect way to ease that. Breathe back. Let me go to war for my honor. Our father, no, I love my mother and my daughter, and I'm learning to love her 10 times harder. Put my arms on the moon and we bark on the tune. It's the Water Boy. Sing the only song, no auto tune. State your claim, that's your government name. Fame, I came to shine down here. Osiris can never be king without his Isis. Isis, I see it needed to Osiris. State your claim, that's your government name. Fame, I came to shine down here. Osiris can never be king without his Isis. Isis, I see it needed to Osiris. State your claim, that's your government name is fame. I came to shine down here.
The kind of love make you shiver, teeth shine. A mind on the divine and nothing else matter. Real free. We speed of wisdom at the highest. Text on deck, another murder in a siren. Kind of love burning in your chest, breathing in the wisdom, murdering the rest. My sex grip into my hair so callous. The mic be my avalanche of silence. Just on the river streets for where he be at. Got the love for the kilo, he need that. We breathe that new rain to fame. Not so certain the reality, so call it by your name. The servant is another by the father. Her riches top from mother daughter. Take to claim that your government name. Say, I came to shine down here.
Osiris can never be king without his Isis, and Isis can't see it needed to Osiris. State your claim, not your government name. Fame, I came to shine down here. Osiris can never be king without his Isis. Isis can't see it needed to Osiris. State your claim, not your government name is fame. I came to shine down here.
All right.
Welcome Welcome back to PureFlow Radio.
Oh, that's just me.
So it's your lady hashtag fuck.
Oops, my bad.
Yes, we are back. It's your lady hashtag fuck Quincy. Eerie, that was some fire. You threw that on right on time because I had to get up and I had to dance. I had to get it out.
We used to believe in each other. Like,
good.
I swear to God, man, women are better at rebuilding themselves. When the hero that the male sees himself as is torn, it's hard for him to build it because no one watched him build it. He built it in private and offered it to the woman of his desires, if that makes sense. So as I'm listening to that song, I'm like, yeah, man, how did we forget that? You know what I'm saying? She's Isis, you're Osiris, like, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, the shame you felt where I can't even look at you if you're coming like that used to inspire us to say, no, I'm better. She needs me to be better. She needs me to be more. And yeah, man, this was a good thought for this week. Word.
Word up. Anyone else out here like to say something? Because
yeah, I got some people on.
There's some good stuff.
Want me pull one up? Let's see.
Yeah, let's see what's going on.
9542. Did I already pull that up?
Hello?
Hello. You're live.
Welcome.
Hello? Hello?
Go ahead, brother. You're live.
Can you hear us?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't really listen. I didn't really hear everything that was chatting about.
Right.
But I can feel where y'all coming from, where y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't hear the whole topic, but I can understand.
So let us ask you.
I can feel what y'all talking about. Sometimes when people feel like ashamed and guilty, for putting their loved one through something that they shouldn't have. You understand? It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard on them. You know what I'm saying? Because they battle on themselves and their own demons and they feel a certain way. So it's kind of hard for them to like actually express themselves. You understand?
Word.
And make their loved ones feel what they feeling. You understand what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. How do we
so
beat
it's
that
a struggle.
shit?
It's a struggle within themselves.
How do we win? How do we win that struggle?
I don't know. Listen.
Good answer. No, for sure.
It's hard. It's hard. I don't know. I don't really know. Because it's because we fight ourselves, right? We fight ourselves, and then we fight a battle every day. Every day we fight a battle, but we fight ourselves too. So let me ask you this.
Understand what I'm saying? So let me ask you this. Sparkle gave us communication. I know exactly what you're talking about. Do you think we need to practice more when we fighting that battle inside, sharing it with the person we trust, with the loved one that we've let down? Do you think that could help us?
Yeah. Of course, because communication is the key. Communication is key to everything. You always got to communicate. Because if you never communicate, you know what I'm saying? Your significant other can't read your mind. They don't know what you're thinking about.
True that.
You understand? So communication is definitely key. It's definitely a key.
Spark, where you at?
Actually, they can read your mind. If you guys are in a relationship and you are ejaculating in that female, then she can read your mind.
That's a fact.
Because you are offering DNA cells to her that she has now access to you. So she can read your mind. That's one. And two is, what if the communication is closed when the offering is available to help to rebuild your trust, but the communication is not being met? You said communication is key, but what if the person doesn't have the key?
Woo. You know what that means? It's time to reflect. It's time to look at things. And again, kudos to everybody who has that, because it is a self-preservation skill. At some point, you know what you know, and the bravery to walk on it and say this might not be working. Especially with someone you love, it's hard. It's not a skill I'm saying I got, but I'm not dumb. I'll say at some point you have to be able to say no and just end it. But again, love is long suffering. You know what I'm saying? Love is long suffering. My problem is that communicate both sides of the suffering. You know, if the female is going through something, to fight to hold up the forgiveness she offered, let him know that. You know, if he's fighting to feel worthy of the smile he's hoping he sees on her face, he got to have the balls to say, what can I do today to make you smile? I want to see you smile today. And mean that shit and start going on adventures together. I'm excited. I got some shit to try. I like it. Yeah, Ice Park. Let's reflect on that for a minute, y'all.
Yes, I'm reflecting.
That shit hurt. Staring out this window, wishing I could bounce. Something got me down, feeling out of bounds. Sipping on this bottle, trying to drown it out. That shit hurt. I had to know it and accept it as true. You ever looked at your reflection as deception? Can't accept that it's you. My alchemy marries the spirit and flesh, and every soul is eternal. So now my body won't be needing a rest. It's nocturnal, live the life of the night. Who in this kingdom of darkness ain't afraid to be the bearer of light? And every guardian remembers my face. I elevate through the gates and let my happy feet crush the grapes. And just sip upon the tip of your tongue, tell you the truth. I'm a river of fire made of water flowing the truth. A true musician is a fool on a quest to be the best. Who would have thought that you'd be put to the test? That every phrase you ever wrote on the page would come to life, making you the author of your own passionate advice. I'm like the widow's son, waiting for hope to follow my breath. See the promised son who live on the run, swallowing death. Staring out this window, wishing I could bounce. Lightning got me down, feeling out of bounds. Sipping on this bottle, trying to drown it out. Ouch. That shit hurt. Staring out this window, wishing I could bounce. Lightning got me down, feeling out of bounds. Sipping on this bottle, trying to drown it out. I got it. That shit hurt. He who cures who is like God the brave. On every June the 16th, they've got to guard the grave. Stone rolls, uncover for whom the bell tolls. Karma brings doom to a nation that sells souls. I'm representing the echo of our last wishes. Reconfigured delivery written on our glass dishes. A poor servant set to pour wine among the nobles. The water of life by necessity gone global. Infinity one from a Trinity son. The resurrection of the remedy. I think it is done. A true musician's a magician hitting thoughts with sound. Who would have thought what I created would have conjured a crowd? Now the challenge is to keep what I got. Go on and got it to give. These hungry savages don't want me to live. I'm like an orphan with a sword from stone. And nose in a robe with a skull and bone. Know my name on the throne. I'm staring up this window, wishing I could bounce. Like I got me down.
Hey. All right, beat it. Superstar.
That shit hurt it.
Close the mic right now.
Wishing I could bounce. Like I got me down, feeling out of bounds. Slipping on this bottle, trying to drown it out. That shit hurt.
Yes. Welcome back to PureFlow Radio. It's your lady. And it is Thoughtful Thursdays. And that last segment had me thinking Eerie so loudly because I'm like, I know that when someone tell me that I broke their heart like they have before, like I feel so ashamed that I don't even want to even try to rebuild the trust because I know that maybe that's high expectations. I don't work well with expectations. I don't work well with ultimatums. Right. I don't work well with people saying, well, don't you remember the last time you broke my trust? So now you got to do X, Y, and Z to rebuild it. And I'm like, I'm not with jumping through hoops to rebuild anybody's trust. Because everybody makes mistakes.
Right.
You know, so like if I tell you genuinely with all of my integrity and my sincerity that this won't happen again, then it just won't happen again.
Right.
But if I tell you that it won't happen again, it keeps on happening again, then I'm not a dummy, yummy. Like, I'm
Right.
moving on because I'm not tolerating that behavior because I have other things to do. It doesn't matter who you are. With me personally, it doesn't matter if you're my brother, sister, cousin, mother, even the children I gave birth to. Like, I hold no bars with my standards because I offer the same to you in return.
Right.
So my expectation is not what I expect of you. It's what you're supposed to do because I'm mirroring what I give to you. So if you don't have the courage to meet me, even when it's time to communicate, then I'm moving on. But apparently that's not the best way to rebuild.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the antithesis of rebuilding, but for the people, right? But for the people who feel like they've been rebuilding, you asked earlier in the show about how long. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of spirit applies for you in your life with your reflection, but other people may need to attempt to embody that spirit. Maybe they've been in a relationship 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they've been in one, that's, I hope not, but is abusive. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely a place for that. So it's not a flaw. Like you said, the value system, what is it worth? Is it worth it to me, the work that it's going to take to rebuild it? And the person who is feeling the hurt is the one who's going to decide that. The person hoping for a chance don't got no say in that. And that's a humble place to be, but it's a place motherfuckers got to sit.
Some people be trying to bully that out of you, though. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Don't you believe in God?
Well, oh no, they didn't. They brought Jesus at you? No, they didn't. Always. Oh man.
I do have some things that I would like to offer that I will have to practice myself because, like I said, my trust was violated before I can even request it. So, like Eerie was saying earlier, I'm just quoting the way that hit me, and that is the Great Awakening. That I wasn't even I was violated. So, with that violation, you have to practice forgiveness. That brings us to the next point along this ways, is that we have to practice forgiveness. If you want to repair a relationship after a betrayal, forgiveness is key. Not only will you need to forgive your partner, but you may need to forgive yourself. Blaming yourself in some way for what happened can keep you stuck in self-doubt. That can hurt the chances of your relationship's recovery. Depending on the betrayal, it might partner and move forward. But try to remember that forgiving your partner isn't saying that what they did was okay. Rather, you're empowering yourself to come to terms with what's happened and leave it in the past. You're also giving your partner a chance to learn and grow from their mistakes. And the tip is avoid dwelling on the past. And ladies and gentlemen, I know that's a tough one. Avoid dwelling on the past because the past, sometimes the atrocity hits you like a trauma. So you're traumatized behind the act that someone done to you. So it's like, it's hard to leave it in the past because maybe some PTSD was formed from that.
90 seconds.
So depending on that level of betrayal and how it affected the person that was betrayed, we don't know because everyone deals with shock and emotion differently. So avoid dwelling on the past. Once you fully discuss the betrayal, it's generally best to put that issue to bed. This means you don't bring it up on future arguments. You also want to go easy on constantly checking in on your partner to make sure that they aren't lying to you again. This isn't always easy, especially at first. You might have a hard time letting go of the betrayal and find it difficult to start trusting your partner, especially if you're worried about another betrayal. But when you decide to give the relationship a second chance, you're also deciding to trust your partner again. Maybe you can't completely trust them right away, but you're implying you'll give trust a chance to regrow. If you can't keep thinking about what happened or have misgivings about your partner's future honesty or faithfulness, couples counseling can help, but these signs could also indicate you may be ready to work on you may not be ready to work on the relationship.
10 seconds.
So I guess it's a personal decision, you know. And I'm at a place in my journey right now when I'm dealing with spiritual integrity. Like the physical integrity is fine and dandy. I don't deal with that anymore. That's why I said it's like, show me what you're working with. I no longer want to hear what you got to say because it's nothing personal. It's just a vibration. Like, you know, once you have a certain level of consciousness and you're always rising, you're always learning, you're growing, you're not going to be the place you were, you know, depending on where you're going. So I think it's just a personal decision on the topic that we're discussing about how do you, you know, rebuild trust. I think the rebuilding has to be a two-way street. This is what the caller Chris had called in and tried to convey, is that both sides will have to be willing to be open to forgiveness and moving forward and rebuilding. Because if you're begging for someone's forgiveness to trust you again, and they're not ready, they may grow to resent you. You know, maybe sometimes you need to take a break and reflect and, you know, learn to trust yourself again, or, you know, get in touch with the part that you're so hurt about, you know, because some people can bounce back and be like, oh, that was nothing. Just don't do it again. But the person keeps on doing it again. It's just, I think it's a personal thing on your own personal boundaries on, you know, how you're going to rebuild or not rebuild. But
I agree.
I think I have a very low to zero tolerance.
And that's okay. You know, everything is about this moment. I hope our listeners heard something that is useful for them on tonight's show. I think I want to close out with Jet Life. You know what I'm saying? I want you to remember positive imagery. You know what I'm saying? And if you're looking for a time to start, when better than 2020? This fucking mess of a year has given us all a moment to say the next step should be our best, and the first gear is have no fear. It's PureFlow Show.
East, where you at? Just that first gear, no fear, no doubt, bitch, this my gear. Bring it back to the ass right here. Never mind, they talking in your ear. That's cognac.
Thank you to everybody who joined us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click like, share the video.
Got bread, but I don't want to eat. Instead, I'd rather hit a pad of the rubber on a hot concrete while I knock this beat up and down your street. Can I feel my feet? Smile without my grin. A sunset cheese. Double dust blunt. Nigga, this that sun. This that.
Make sure you check out www.walkingthepureflow.com. EerieCanalRaw.com.
Yo, don't switch up. Pick up, rock town, big up. I figure, rock town niggas. Try to be about 9 niggas. Gotta watch my figure. Pop rock, pop trigger.
Merchandise available soon at March1984.com. Stay tuned. Let's go.
That's a soul. The master soul. You fuck with me, I'm ripping glasses off. That's hats and all. Just that. First gear, no fear. No doubt, bitch, this my gear. Bring it back to the ass right here. Never mind, they talking in your ear. That cognac, this that. Hit the road, probably never coming back. See that yellow, that this guy in the hat, thought down the brown when they pop this track, this jack. Pick up, rock town, pick up, I pick up, rock town, niggas. Try to be about 9 niggas. It's my time. Pick up, rock town, pick up, I pick up, rock town, niggas. Try to be about 9 niggas. It's my time.